Excellent. Okay, so I am recording the session. You will get a copy of this, and anyone who registered who was unable to turn up this evening, hello, you missed a great session. It was fabulous. Thank you for joining us on replay. And anything that you think of as we go along, please, I want this session to be as interactive as we possibly can. So, you know, jump on in and ask questions. Let us kick off. So tonight we're talking about the top 10 productivity tools that I've discovered while I've been playing around with in 2022. So give me a thumbs up and make sure that you can see the screen and I'm coming through loud and clear. Awesome. Thank you. Excellent. All right. Let's kick off with a bit of housekeeping. So we are here for an hour. I'm mindful of everyone's time, so I'm happy to hang around a little bit at the end if you have questions, but I will aim to get through everything in the hour. This session is brought to you by Hotjar, so thank you to the wonderful team there. Amazing people, and really lovely to meet all of you as a result of the collaboration that we're doing with Hotjar. Just an acknowledgement to our First Nations people of the lands on which we meet. If you would like to put your land that you're meeting on in the chat box and let everyone know, I would love to read where everyone's zooming in from this evening. I myself am from Bundjalung country, which is in northern New South Wales, but tonight I'm coming to you from Toowoomba, which is the home of the Jagera and the Jarowa people. So acknowledge the elders past, present and emerging, and sovereignty was never ceded. So if anyone wants to pop their notes in, happy to see that. Otherwise, we will kick off. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tracy Sheen. I'm known as the Digital Guide. I'm the author of The End of Technophobia, a practical guide to digitizing your business, which was winner of the Business Book of the Year in 2021 and also Best Technology Book. So it was written predominantly for business owners over 40. So, you know, my age group, we didn't grow up with technology. Technology has happened to us, and it's something that we know that we need to get a handle on in our business. But, you know, perhaps we haven't got as much of an understanding of it, or it's all a bit overwhelming. So the book was written for everyone that's ever kind of thought that tech is too much and it's too overwhelming. So I am the resident tech guru, and I hate that word, on Koshi's Business Builders. So if anyone watches that on Channel 7 on Thursday afternoon, you would have seen me on there today. I'm heading back in a couple of weeks to record a bunch more sessions. I've co-hosted a couple of episodes with Koshi and also done a bunch of webinars with him. I've worked with the likes of Windows, with Intel. I've done a lot of work with the Australian Domain Authority. I was top 50 business leaders for Inside Small Business last year, and I'm also recognised as a certified practicing marketer through the Australian Marketing Institute. Boy, that's a mouthful. So the Australian Marketing Institute is the highest level of accreditation that marketers can get in Australia. And I've been doing this, as in digital marketing, small business advisory, and technology since 1990. So, you know, since Moses was playing fullback, really, and we're coming into the grand final this weekend. So these days, all I do is lots of webinars and workshops. I do a lot of speaking. I do a lot of commentating in the media, and I just love chatting all things tech, particularly marketing tech, and helping as many business owners as I can. All right, enough about me. Let's go on with the cool stuff. So we're talking top 10 productivity tools for business in 2022. Some of them you may heard of. Hopefully most of them you have not. And hopefully you will walk away with at least one. And I'm going to ask you at the end of this session which one you want to have a crack with in your business and why that it is that one interests you. All right, let's kick off with CRMs. Now, as I said, I've been doing this since 1990. The single biggest difference in terms of software that I see for people's businesses hands down, time and time again, is when you install a customer relationship manager portal. I don't care if you're B2C, so business to consumer, if you're B2B, business to business, or what type of business you are in, a customer relationship manager will make the world of difference. Now, there's a difference between CRM systems and email systems. So a lot of people get confused with, oh, well, I've got MailChimp or I've got Aweber or one of those types of things. That's just your email marketing platform. What a customer relationship manager will really do is allow you to build deeper and stronger relationships with your clients. So we'll do that by helping you organize customer information. It'll help you build a bigger database of understanding. So it might be, you know, when I work with photographers, they want to know what sort of camera that their clients have, how long they keep their cameras, whether they like portrait or, you know, landscape type of photography, whether they use macro lenses. So all of that information that is really important to just our businesses are things that we can gather and start to store in a CRM system. Hands down, sorry, someone.
Have you got any way to stop the rain?
Sorry, I missed that one.
Have you got any way to stop the rain?
Stop any way to stop the rain? No, unfortunately, they don't. That's the one thing they don't do. They're pretty powerful, but they won't do that.
Available.
So if everyone just pops themselves on mute, because I am getting a bit of other feedback through the system. So just pop yourself on mute, and if you've got a question, feel free to come off. So the CRMs, hands down, out of all of the ones that I've used over the years, if you're just starting out in business and you don't want to spend a lot of cash, the best system that I've come across as a free customer relationship manager piece of software is HubSpot, HubSpot. I don't get any kickback for saying that, but they are an excellent system. You can have as many customers in that software as you want without being charged for it. There is a paid model, and once you start using or wanting to use more of the facilities, you move into a paid system. But in terms of a free customer relationship manager, HubSpot by far, and I've used a ton of them, is the best and allows you to gather the most data. If anyone's interested, you can drop me, and I'll give you my details at the end. You can drop me an email. I've done a free 1-hour workshop on how to get the most out of the free version of HubSpot. I'm happy to share that with you if the CRM system is something that interests you. All right, the next one is Loom. And if anyone's using Loom, throw your hands up in the air. I would love to hear your experiences with Loom. What Loom does, and there's the website for it there, it's a video sharing application. So you record your information on screen, and then you can send video messages to clients, to suppliers. How easy? So Brady, awesome question. Let me park that and I'll come back to that. So Brady just had a question about the CRMs. So Loom, let me pop over and give you a bit of a look at it. So Loom will let you record your screen and your face, or just your face, or just your screen. So I use Loom a lot when I am, say, offering feedback to clients. So they might send me their website. They've just done a website update. I'll bring the website up on the screen and I will walk through and kind of go, you know, hey, Chris, website's looking great. Now, if we take a look over here and I can circle something, you know, I want you to do this, have a look at that, change this, move the thing. And the really nice thing about that, I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but if you email people and you're trying to put all your thoughts into email, it's really open to interpretation, right? Because, you know, you might be having a bad day, so you're reading your email with a bit of angst and you're thinking, oh, she says that all a bit, ugh. But if you're on video and people can see you smiling and interacting with the screen, then it's much easier to get your point across. So Loom is an excellent platform for doing that. Now, you can sign up to Loom for free and give it a crack. And then depending on how much you want to use the platform, you can go up to a paid facility for there. But as you can see, once you design or once you record something, all you do is grab a link, And the nice thing is you send that link to someone in an email, and when they've watched the video, you actually get a notification to say, hey, Melinda's just watched the video. So at that point, if I want to, I can drop an email or a follow-up to Melinda and say, hey, I see you've watched the video. Was there any questions? Is everything clear? You know, can I help you with anything else? So lots of really cool functionality on Loom and lots of ways that you can use it. Also exceptionally good in terms of outreach for clients. So let's say, for example, you're onboarding a client. It's really lovely to just jump on to Loom, record your face just straight to camera and go, hey, Peter, Tracy here. How you doing? Thank you so much for signing up for blah, blah, blah. Really looking forward to working with you, mate. Just a couple of things I want to take you through, and then I might take you through the next steps that you need to know to be a client of mine. So keep Loom in mind, and just want to acknowledge Dan and Lomi have joined us. Good evening, folks. How you doing? Dan, if you're around, I'm going to throw to you in a few minutes just to say a couple of words, but I do know that you were on child minding duties this evening. So g'day, folks. All right, the next one's Canva. Who is using Canva at the moment? Awesome. David is. Love that. Canva, for those who aren't aware, is a graphic design program. Really, really easy to use. And again, Celine's using it. Awesome. So let's take a look at Canva. Now, Canva is something that, you know, first thing I'm going to say to you is give yourself a couple of hours the first time you go in and have a play with it, because my goodness, you're going to go down a rabbit hole and go, oh my God, this thing does so much stuff. And your friends and family aren't going to see you for a few hours because you're going to get caught up with everything this thing can do. Again, Canva is designed as what we call a freemium product, which means it starts free. And then depending on the usage levels that you want from Canva, you move into a paid product. But this does everything from being able to create your social media tiles. So if you're looking for something that fits Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, or create a new cover photo, Canva has a bunch of templates that you can pre-use. And the really nice thing is it's all drag and drop. So, you know, you pick a design that you like the bones of, and then you can swap the colors, you can swap the font, you can import your own pictures, you can add different text, you can change everything around. So really there is, and you can see here, just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of applications that you can use for Canva. So really for all your social media content, Insta stories, LinkedIn, I use it for all of my events products, infographics, it's fantastic for various different things, even designing, you know, presentations and whiteboards and things like that you can do in Canva. So definitely one, if you haven't played around with it, then, you know, definitely one to pop in and have a look at, something that I think we all as business owners should be playing around with. All right, the next one is Kapwing. Now, I love the way you've got to pronounce this. It has a certain pronunciation. It's Kapwing. So you've got to say it with a bit of attitude. And Kapwing is designed as a video editor. Really, really simple, easy to use video editor. So we all know that we need to be creating more video for our marketing, for our social media. What is it? The stats tell us it's something like over 80% now of videos get far better traction than any other sort of posts. But trying to edit it and trying to get your head around how to be a video editor can be a really challenging thing. So Kapwing is really designed to help take the hassle out of video editing. So Kapwing, here we go. Really, you import, so you record a quick bit of video, or maybe you've got a bunch of images that you just want to throw together and create a carousel or a bit of a video out of images. Then you can edit everything just by dragging and dropping, by dragging a bit of text in over the top, by adding some music. It will even do subtitles for you. It will automatically alter the size and shape of the video to fit different platforms. So if you want to upload something to TikTok, you press the TikTok button and it gives you the correct dimensions and the correct sizing for TikTok. If you want to do something for Instagram, it does all of that. So changes the portrait and the looks of things. You can put stickers in, you can put animations, you can put emojis. So a lot of really cool stuff in there. And again, it's what we classify as a freemium product. Starts free, so you get to have a bit of a play around with it, see if it's something that you can use in your business. And then once you start using a lot more functionality, then you move into a paid version. But Kapwing is something that I'm yet to find any client that struggles to be able to use it. So you can see here a bunch of different templates, from your video templates, memes, collages, Instagram. So if we go and have a quick look, you know, it even walks you through like little videos of how to do things. So then it knocks them down into categories. So you've got, you know, lower third, you've got like Halloween, you've got Christmas, you've got, you know, a bunch of different stuff that you can play around with. So Kapwing's a lot of fun, and it's really quite easy to pick up and understand. All right, next one is Odan. Now, Odan is a fantastic site for pulling in copyright-free images. Now, I don't know about you, but when you create a lot of social media content, or maybe you're creating blogs, trying to find images to jazz things up can be a little bit overwhelming. So what Odan does is it searches all of the copyright-free image sites and collates them all together for you. So let's pop in something like pets. Now, what it does, you can see on the left-hand side here, it's starting to pull in all the various sites that offer copyright-free images. So Unsplash, Pixabay, etc., and then just collates them for you. So if you find an image that you like the look of, all you do is click on it and download it, and it's copyright free. Happy days, you're good to add it to your website, your social media, whatever. If there is a site that you need to acknowledge, it will tell you when you go to download the image, please acknowledge the photographer, and it will give you the name. And then all you need to do on your social media is put a little bracket at the bottom and say photography supplied by Fluffy, if that's the name of the photographer. So really great little site, and, you know, lots of variety of images. Even my images tend to be a little bit kind of quirky and out there. So even you can see, you know, some variety of some really kind of quirky images there. They're not all very corporate, very staid, very boring. There's a lot of really kind of cool images there that will fit most brands. I'm finding it's a really great site for that. So copyright-free images, Odan is a great one and completely free. All right, let's have a look at the next one. Is Our Community. Now, Our Community, again, 100% free. Now, this is a great site for helping you come up with additional ideas for your social media posting. So what Our Community does is collates all of the various special interest days that are happening around Australia and some globally. So what it allows you to do is just at a quick look, have a look to see what's kind of going on any particular day or week of the month. And then if it relates to your business, or it's something that personally relates to you, gives you the opportunity to then be able to be ahead of the game and post about it on your social media. So let's face it, you know, Saturday, the 1st of October, International Coffee Day. I think we should all be posting about that as business owners. We're probably, you know, keeping the coffee industry alive. So we should all be posting about, you know, paying homage to the humble bean. But one of the really nice things about this site that I've discovered is that a lot of these organizations, so let's say Pink Ribbon Day, for example, the Cancer Council, if you were to dive in and have a proper look at this, so click onto their website, you'll find the hashtags and things that they use. So then you can use the hashtags and you can tag the companies in your own posts. And I often find that by doing that, the organizations like Pink Ribbon Day or International Coffee Day, or, you know, International Day of the Older Persons, whatever that is, they will actually have someone monitoring the hashtags and monitoring their posts being tagged, and we'll give you, we'll give you the ability to showcase your content on a bigger platform. So give you an example, I was working with a client who tagged, does everyone remember the old Jean for Jeans Day? That it's been around forever and a day, like 20 odd years. Anyway, client posted about Jeans for Jeans Day and, congratulations, 25 years, you raised a bunch of money, great, outcomes, blah, 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 and tagged them. Jeans for Jeans Day picked up their post, reshared it to their network, and on their LinkedIn profile, their reach for that particular post got into the tens of thousands, and normally they're seen by like 100 or a couple of hundred people. So just by being a little bit smart and thinking about, how can we leverage some of the bigger names, the bigger brands. I just had to have a giggle there because Robin's been going backwards and noticed that July 21 was National Junk Food Day. Telling you, man, there's a day for everything. So, the concept behind this is you don't always have to be talking about what it is that your business offers, and you don't always have to be trying to sell to people. A lot of the thing now is about building community and allowing people to see behind the curtain. So if you can kind of say to them, hey, today's International Day of the Older Persons, I just want to give a shout out. This is why this is important to me. This is what it means to me. Then it's letting people who are going to work with you and deal with you in behind the curtain, and gives them a better understanding of the ethics, the values, etc., of your business and what it is that you're trying to build. So I love our community, and every month we kind of go through this with our clients and develop a little bit of a social media calendar of how they can build out their month ahead, and then plug the gaps with this kind of stuff. Buy nothing new. Like, there's some great stuff in here, Seniors Week, etc. All right, let me pause. I'm going to come back to the screen and I'm going to check in with everyone. Any questions on what we've talked about so far? I'm going to go to Brodie's about the CRM. So Brodie had a question around how easy is it to swap between them? Do they all export and import with CSVs? Absolutely, Brodie. Really easy. Great question. So all you would do would be to set up export. So if you're already in a customer relationship manager, you would export your CSV or Excel spreadsheet, either or, doesn't matter, and just make sure that your columns line up. So column 1 might be first name, column 2 might be surname, column 3 might be email, as an example, and then when you import it, it will populate those data points for you. Great question, though. Helen's saying that she uses Loom to provide feedback to my suppliers and manufacturers. And yeah, it's a great platform. So love Loom. Any other questions about what we've gone through so far? I know everyone's gone quiet on me. Like I can hear a pin drop. Everyone's muted though. I love that. All right, awesome. Let's crack on then. And let's get back to it.
Hey, you going last?
Sorry, did someone have something? No. So it's okay. The next one.
I'm on mute. Now I'm on mute.
Yeah. So, Christy, if you just want to pop yourself on mute.
Oh, I thought I was on mute.
Yeah, no, you popped off. That's all right. All good. No worries. Okay. The next one is LinkTree. Now, hands up if you're an Instagram user. You've probably seen a bit of LinkTree floating around on Instagram if you follow Insta or you use Insta for your own business. So Michelle's saying, yep, she's got a LinkTree already. Fantastic. So what LinkTree does is allow you to populate all of your contact details on one page. So really, really handy. And you'll notice Brodie's gone, hands up. Awesome. So LinkTree is really cool in the fact that you can create one link to rule them all. So you may have noticed on Instagram that you only get the option to share one link. So typically people go, oh, do I share my website, or like, what do I do? So a lot of people who are heavy Instagram users or TikTok users will create something like a LinkTree. And then you can put all of your information on that one site. So you can have your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your website, but you can also add things like, you know, here's a link to my upcoming product, or here's a link to an upcoming webinar or a workshop. And you can prioritize how they sit on your profile, and you also get some data of how many people are clicking on things, where they're going, all that type of thing. Now, again, LinkTree is another freemium product, so it starts free. Depending on how much you use it, you can go up to a paid service, but really, really cool, really, really handy. And if you've ever been on Instagram or on TikTok and you've seen someone say link in bio, that's what they're talking about. They're saying, pop back into my personal bio profile, have a look, you'll see a link, and typically it's linking off to LinkTree, where they're saying, go and check out the product called blah, blah, or check out my service, or check out my whatever that looks like. So you get to analyze the information, so you can see again how many people have clicked, what that's looked like, you know. So it's a really popular platform, particularly on things like Instagram, but I'm seeing it now used a lot more, even in workshops and things. Now people are just creating a LinkTree and then creating a QR code. So if you meet someone at a networking event, you can just hold your phone up with a QR code. Someone can scan it, takes them straight to your LinkTree, and they've got all of your details in one spot. So really, really handy little platform to know. All right, the next one is Hotjar. Now, Hotjar is something that we use a lot to check out how people's websites are performing. Now, what Hotjar does is it gives you a rundown of how people are navigating through your website. It creates heat maps. Just going to check in. If anyone's unmuted, I'm just going to pop myself on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, as Zoom admin, you've got the power to mute people.
I know, but I like to let people interact if they want to. But.
Tengo que, ¿cómo se llama? Se me olvidó. Tengo que botar la basura y tengo que tomar la pastilla. Me quedé así nomás porque apagué la pantalla.
There we go. All right. Sorted. Let's go back. Okay, so Hotjar, what Hotjar does is allow you to see how people are reacting over your website. So let's take a bit of a look. It does things like create heat maps. So it's really, really handy. And I'm going to jump in and give you a bit of a look at this. Really, really handy to see when you've got Hotjar connected. You can actually see, can you see how that's like red, like really, really red, and then there's some yellow and some green and stuff around it. So what that's showing you is where people are hovering when they get to your website. So why is that important? Because you get to know, is there particular buttons, is there particular bits of information on your website that people are stopping and having a read of? Because typically what happens when we look at somebody's website from a desktop or from a laptop, our mouse will kind of go where our eyes are going. And when we stop reading, our mouse stops. So Hotjar creates a heat map, and it's showing you that the mouse has paused on that section of the website. So again, it just lets you know, okay, that's really interesting. People are clicking on my buy now button, but they're not following through with the purchase, or they're clicking on my services button, but they're not going anywhere from there. So it's telling you it's getting people to this part of the site, but then they're not going any further. So from there, you can start to get some really good ideas of, okay, what do I need to mix this up? Do I need to move it around? The other thing that it does is record individuals on your site. And you're about to see like a little line go crazy on the screen here. So again, that's showing you how people are traveling around your site when they're landing on your website. So as they land, you can see this person's gone from home to pricing. They've had some kind of little conniption, and then they're jumping around, you know, the pricing. So again, from a website owner's point of view, we get to kind of go, okay, that's really interesting. You know, they're having a real look at my pricing, but they're not buying. So is that, do I need to change something up in there? Do I need to add more information? Do I need to, you know, move something around? Do I need to add a video? Do I need to change something? So Hotjar is a really, really useful tool to let you know how people are navigating around your site. Now, we'll give them to you individually, but you can also collate all of the visitors for the past week or the past month or whatever and get this crazy kind of, you know, psycho line going across the screen and showing how everyone's interacting. It allows you to spot problems and things with the website as well. So if people are hovering and not clicking, then again, you can make some educated decisions from there. Now, the one thing to know about Hotjar is it can slow your website down. So typically what we do with clients is we say load Hotjar onto your website for 30 days or 60 days, and then analyze the data, remove it, make some changes, and then, you know, wait 30 days and then reload Hotjar and see what's happening. Again, it's another freemium product, so you can start for free. And then as you want to go and use the functionality more and more, or learn more and more about the website, about your website, it will move into a paid plan. But a really cool little handy tool that a lot of people aren't using or don't know about. So let me just see. Warren said that his consultant recommended outcome.life. It's a company that built a web page for free. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, but there's plenty of programs out there. Hotjar's just one that's been around for a while and has a really good name, but I'll definitely check out Outcome Life. Brody said, does it use extra resources on your web hosting, or does it use something like Google Analytics? Kind of a little bit different. It does tap into your bandwidth though. So as I said, it can slow the site down. It's like an overlay, kind of like Google Analytics, but it is a third-party site. So it can slow the website down a little bit. So just be mindful. So like I said, we typically in an agency, we'll say to a client, load it for 30 days. Let's have a look at the data, 30 days, 60 days, review the data, and then make the changes from there. So great questions. Excellent. All right, we're trucking through these. The next one is the script. Now, Descript I've been using for a while now, and it is phenomenal in terms of being this really cool tool that can edit text, audio, or video. It will transcribe, but it does a whole lot more. So let's say, for example, you have a video or you have an audio file. You can upload it to Descript, and the first thing it will do is create a transcription for you. But let's say then you're reading through the transcription and you decide that you want to remove that, like it says on the screen there, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube video. You might decide that you want to remove that. So all you do is delete that line and it will edit the audio or the video for you to remove that line. So a really powerful tool that will edit both audio and video. One of the things I use it for a lot is to create transcriptions. So if I'm working with clients who are creating podcasts, we'll run the podcast through, we'll get a transcription, we'll then make our edits based on what we want to take out, we'll run it back through Descript, and we'll keep getting a transcript backwards and forwards until we're happy with the final product. It will split the voices. So if it's a two-person interview, it will say Warren and then it will say Tracy. So I can easily see who's reading or who's doing what in the podcast. But the same with the video. If I scrub out, if I delete a line of text, it's going to edit and cut that video to remove that line of text. Now, when it comes to video, if you remove a line of text, as example, it can be a little, quite a solid cut. So there is still a bit of you know, fluffing around with it, but it works fantastically well for audio. And between this and Kapwing that we talked about earlier, that kind of really neatly fits together to be creating some great content for your website, for your socials, etc. So some really cool features there with Descript. So again, they're kind of showing you here that you can just, you know, all you do is highlight the bit that you want to get rid of, hit backwards, and it edits the, not just the text, but the audio, the video, all of that kind of stuff as well. So really nice little tool there. All right. The last one, and then we're going to go back through them, and I'm going to spend a bit more time in detail on each of them and answer questions as we go along, is Crisp. Now, I'm using Crisp tonight, and I use it every time I'm online. It is a noise cancelling application. So it sits on your computer as a download, works across all platforms. So it works for me on Zoom, it works on Microsoft Teams, it works on FaceTime, and it removes the noise from both sides. It also removes echoes. And again, it's a freemium model, so it starts for free, but then it goes up to a paid platform. Now, there is a bit of a unwritten rule that the moment you need to do a Zoom video or a webinar is when the council decide that they're going to start the leaf blowers in the backyard, or the dogs next door are going to go crazy, or the kids are going to start yelling, or something's going to happen. And, you know, we're fighting all of those noises in the background. So Crisp, all it does is delete all of those noises. So I have been sitting in shopping centres, and Michelle just says every time, right? I know, it's crazy. Like, I don't know what it is, but there is an unwritten law. The moment you hit start on a Zoom thing is when every man and their dog comes out to chop down trees and reseal potholes and do everything they possibly can. So I've been sitting in, you know, shopping centres, in food courts in the middle of lunchtime with people buzzing about behind me. And, you know, people have said, how are you so clear? How are you so quiet? It's Crisp. So it's a great product, and it's something that I think we should all download and run across our platforms. And the nice thing is it works on both ends. And I don't know, it's some kind of magic, I don't know, voodoo, I don't get it, that works across, you know, my platform and say David's if we were chatting, but it does work really, really, really well. So take a look at that. And, you know, as I said, gets rid of barking dogs, street noise. Crazy kind of stuff, how it does. Don't understand it, but it works like a charm and starts for free. So Kate's just saying some platforms have Crisp already installed. Check the audio settings and see. Okay, that's great information, Kate. Thank you. Does it only work with single sounds, Michelle? No. So I've had literally our house backs onto a park, and the park's been getting renovations done. So we've had bobcats and tree mulching people and lawnmowers and dogs barking next door, and it just cuts everything out. So it's not a single source of noise that it removes. It seems to just kind of pick up everything and makes it really, really clear. Can I use it with guitar and singing? Will it cut out the guitar? I don't know. It's a short answer. Give it a crack. It won't tone the voice though. It won't run auto tune across your voice and make you sound like Britney Spears. So sorry about that. All right, let me check in because we've gone through our 10 pretty quickly, and we've got 20 minutes to go. So I want to deep dive back into a few of them for you. Who's got particular questions about any one that you want more information on? And let's go back in and deep dive on those. Come off mute, throw it in the chat box, whatever you want to do. So Kate's saying, this is Crisp, uses Crisp, streaming on Twitch and Discord. Crisp is a lifesaver. Yeah, I love Crisp. It's such a cool, well, stop my wife talking. Funny man. I noticed that you only put that in chat, that you weren't going to say that one out loud with the wife around. So good for you. Awesome. Okay. Okay. What questions have we got, folks? Throw them at me. Let's look at the Is Descript free? It is a freemium product, so they all start for free. And then the more you use it or the more you want to use it, you just move into a paid model. So you can certainly give it a crack for free and see what you think of it. And then it will move up to a paid version from there. Oh, Thomas has got his light bulb showing. Awesome. Who else are we? I'm kidding, mate. It's fine. It's fine. Perfect.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi, Robin here. I was just wondering, with Kapwing, you were saying that it can do animations. I was just wondering if have you played around with the animation features much at all? You know,
I haven't played with the animation features, but I have played around with it. I've got to say, like, I've played around with a lot of those different products, and you know, some of them, they say that they're easy to get it, you know, like super easy to use, and then you get in there and you're like, oh my god, I need to be an editor and understand how this whole thing works. But this one really is, you know, it still takes you a while to figure out how everything goes, because once you get into it, you can go, oh, I can add this and I can add this and layers and all that kind of stuff. But it really is quite intuitive. I knocked out my first couple of, you know, short social media videos for a client within probably 10 minutes of just opening it up and having a play. What I do like about Kapwing also is they've got a really good help center. So they do have a lot of resources to teach you how to use the product. And they have an amazing YouTube channel. So you can jump on YouTube and they've got really short clips on, like, this is how you do an animation, and they'll walk you through, you know, everything in there. But even down to, you know, resizing and converting videos, that's all in there as well. So let's have a bit of let's see if it, so you can see, you know, kind of gives you the idea there of the tools that come up on screen, gives you a little walkthrough of how to edit your video online, but then it's drag and drop. So if there's something, you know, like an animation that you wanted to add, you would just literally drag it and dump it over the top of where you want it to be, and then just choose down the bottom here how long you want that animation on the screen, you know, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You just drag it out to make it last the length of what you want it to have on the screen. So lots of videos to kind of get you started with the platform. They also have a bunch of royalty-free, copyright-free images and GIFs and videos and different effects and things that you can just use and add over the top of your videos. So yeah, give it a crack would be my take on that, Robin. I think I'd be interested to know, you know, feel free to tag me in a social post if you have a go with it and see what you think of it.
Okay, thanks.
Great question. Folks, anything else? Who else has got a question about one of the other platforms?
Oh, Tracy, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a bit muffled, but I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, hang on one minute. Is that better?
Oh, much clearer.
Oh, yeah, Tracy, it's Thomas, the guy who had the camera up on the lights. Hey, something I've tried recently, it's really exciting. You mentioned those royalty-free or royalty-free image sites. Just recently, I've been testing some of those AI image prompt sites, DALL-E 2, OpenAI, Midjourney, right? So you type what you want and it assembles an image for you, and it is unique and it's royalty free. And some of the images, they're just getting incredible, you know, like photorealistic. And because they're uniquely generated from you, it is unique, and there's no copyright or anything. They're just incredible resources at the moment.
Fantastic.
So there's DALL-E 2, OpenAI's, and Midjourney, I think, are amongst the best known. There's also one called Crayon, which is extremely crude but really fast. The only problem with that one is it struggles with human faces. The human faces look like potatoes and things. But anyway, just royalty-free images that are definitely royalty-free, and you don't have to worry about commercial terms or acknowledgement or anything like that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Nice one, Thomas. Thank you for that. Another bonus one that I'll throw in that's a really handy one to know is called remove.bg. And I use this one a lot. So let me bring it up on screen for you. Now, remove.bg will remove the background of an image. So, for example, you know, when I'm doing presentations and things, I might want to let me just move this out of the way. I might want to have an image, but it's got a background to it, but I just want the person or I just want the something out of there. So I can just grab an image. So let me find, you're lucky I have, I just ignore the all of the memes that are up on the screen. I'm probably better known now for my memes than I am for anything else. So let me just find an image here and I'll show you. Okay, so let's grab the puppy. So if I throw the puppy in, you can see there it's just removed the background. So it's just the dog without the background. So I can download that now and, you know, put it on any kind of background. I could put it on bricks, I could put it on water, I could put it on anything and it would, you know, just be the dog. So as Michelle says, Canva, if you're paying for it, has a remove background as well. But if you're using the free version of Canva, it does not. So remove.bg will do the removing of the backgrounds and things for you as well. So images, I know, are such a big one for people when we're creating socials and different things like that. So it can be a really, really handy one to know as well, remove.bg. Excellent. All right. What's everyone else got for me? Any other questions? Anything? It is free, Minnie. Absolutely. Remove.bg. Yep. Awesome. Any other questions? Anything else that anyone wants to talk about? Is there anything that you've been looking for?
I did actually just, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
So this is Kate. I just wanted to quickly to bring back to the AI images that was brought up earlier. I'm a digital illustrator and a graphic designer, and I work heavily in digital imagery. So I know actually quite a lot about these AI generated images and stuff like that, as well as things from Canva. I will reserve my thoughts on that. But what I'm going to say about the AI generated stuff, they're fantastic. They're brilliant. They're amazing. They steal art from artists and conglomerate it into a composited image. Please be very careful when using them because they can come into a very awkward area. With copyrighted image, items created by IPs and things like that. So they're fantastic. They are morally grey at best.
Okay, thank you for that. That's great feedback, and it's an interesting world in which we live, isn't there? It's I've got a client of mine that's a photographer of product photography. That's the word I was looking for. Put the back to front, Tracy. Well done. And loaded their images into a Dropbox folder. Their Dropbox folder got hacked, and then they were driving down one of the major highways in Brisbane and saw their image all over a big billboard being promoted for something else. So, you know, that stuff does go on. So I am very mindful that when we use sites that we make sure that they are copyright free. And if you do, please don't just grab an image off Google and hope for the best, because it's just not the way. Any ideas for music that's royalty free for Instagram and YouTube? Great question, Bellman. I use, let me bring it up for you. Let me find the name of it. I'm just Googling in my folders. There's one I've been using for years that I've been pulling. There's a few of them around. So if you Google copyright free music, you'll find a number of them around, but there is one.
There's one I know that's called Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, perfect. So there you go. There's one that you can use. I've been using, I can't find the name of it right now. Happy to dig it up and shoot it through with the email. The one that I've been using, I like because they do a lot of Aussie artists. So it's not free. You do pay, might be $7 for a song or $13 for a compilation or something like that. It's not expensive, but all of the podcasts I've ever produced and everything, I just have jumped onto this site. And what I like about it is you can type in, Doctor Who theme, and it will bring up music that is similar kind of genre to that. So then you can kind of just, sort through those ones and find the ones you want. Also does sound effects and things like that as well. So it'll come to me as we're talking. And Kane just a great point on the AI art. Excellent. All right, let's go back through and have a look at these 10 in no particular order, as I said again, and just make sure that you have what you need from those platforms. So let's go back through to the start. We talked about customer relationship management tools. So as I said, HubSpot is the free version of the best CRM that I've come across. There are a ton available. I've worked with Entreport, I've worked with Zoho, I've worked with Sweet Dash. There's quite literally, hundreds of them available in the marketplace. Typically, though, what I find is you pay to begin using them. And that's the thing I like about HubSpot is it does start free. Once you need to start using some of the heavier facilities of it, you will move into a paid version. But, it does sales pipelines, it does dashboards, you can create your own filters for clients and things like that. Thank you, Jean. Then, it does have a lot of functionality you can use on the free version of HubSpot. We talked about Loom, which is the one that will allow you to capture your screen, capture your camera, or a mix of both. It then creates a shortened link that you can just share with someone in an email, and you'll then be notified when they have watched the video. I find it particularly useful for A, onboarding clients, and B, offering feedback on projects. So really, really useful tool. And I find that, most businesses have a reason to use Loom or something like Loom. Canva we talked about as a free digital graphic design platform. Bunch of templates already in there. So, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, infographics, newsletters, resumes, whatever it is, even kids' birthday parties. There are so many different designs that you can pull from. And again, freemium, so it goes from free through to a paid version. You can import your own photos, import your own logos, change things up a lot. So there is a lot of functionality inside of Canva. Good one to have a look at. Kapwing, I love, is an easy video editor. Add your subtitles, music, text, emojis. Does allow you to collaborate with team members. So if you are working with, my AV guy is in Argentina, so I'm able to start a project in Kapwing, send him a link, he logs in, makes any changes, we can go backwards and forwards for that. Really, really good for short videos. I wouldn't be trying to sit there and create, Avatar 3 because it'd do your head in, but for a short 30-second, 60-second kind of something. And I love that you can change the sizing to suit the platform. That's a really, really nice feature that is hard to get. Thank you, Judith. That's hard to get on a number of other platforms. So Odan, copyright free images, no sign up, free to use. It collates all the images from the various other copyright free sites. We talked about Our Community, which is the website that offers you insights into all of the other things going on around the country and around the globe. So great for generating ideas for your social media or for, blogs and things like that. So plan your content around the things that are happening globally or around Australia. LinkTree is that one location to rule them all in terms of your contact details. Really, really popular on platforms like Instagram and TikTok and things like that. Again, freemium starts free, goes up to paid, depending on what you want to use the platform for. Hotjar was the one that allows you to see how people are interacting with your website, whether, we've got the squiggly line of where the mouse is going or the heat map of where they've hovered over things. Really easy to connect to your website, free to use, goes to a paid plan. just remember that it can slow your website down though. So just leave it on there for 30, 60 days. Take a look, analyze the data, make the changes you want to make, and then, move on. The script is the one that you can edit on the fly. So it will, you edit the text and it will chop and change the audio and the video for you. Really easy to create transcriptions on there. As it says, edit out filter words, etc., remove silence. Free to get started, and then plans go from about $12 USD a month. And then we have Crisp, which is the microphone that removes all of the noises. Now, you'll see some of these sites that I've popped across the top here. When you see something like this, the crisp.ai/reference, that means I'm an affiliate for the company. So I recommend these guys. And to be perfectly honest, if you sign up for a paid version, I get a kickback. So I get a kickback in terms of a couple of I think it's about an hour's worth of free content that I get on Crisp. So if you sign up using that link, I get a kickback for it. The same with Descript, but Hotjar, no kickback. Most of the others, I don't get a kickback on. LinkTree, Community Calendar, etc. So I do just want to call out that I have an affiliate for a couple of those products there. So that's all the ones we talked about. I'm going to send you a copy of the recording. I'm going to send you a copy of the slides as a PDF. All of the links that are on there will be clickable, so you can go off and have a look at those sites individually. My challenge to you, and I'm going to come off screen and have a bit of a chat, and I'd love to hear from each of you. What is the one product that we talked about tonight that you want to have a play with in your business over the next 30 days? Doesn't have to be more than one. You can be an overachiever if you want to be, but I'm interested in to know what's the one thing that you went, oh, I've got to give that a go in the next 30 days. Who wants to kick off and tell me?
Our community sounds very interesting. Like just getting ideas to, just to come up with regular posts for your Facebook business page. Otherwise, it's going to look very blank. And a lot of businesses really do look blank, and they don't have any interaction with their customers. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have a look at that, I think.
Excellent. Love that. And remember, when it comes to your socials, and this is a bit of left of field here, but we call it the 5 C's. So it's create, curate, communicate, celebrate, and commercialize. So they're the 5 kind of things when we're generating content to build a community. So create means I've created something from scratch. It's a blog, it's a video, it's something, I've created it. Curate is when I've found something that's going to be of interest to my community. So for me, it might be, the Optus data breach that's of interest to my small business clients. So I might just share across an article that's been written about the data breach, and that's curating content. So I'm finding it for my community, I'm sharing it across. Then we have commentate, which is where I found the article, but now I'm adding my 2 cents worth. So, hey, you've all heard about the Optus breach in the last week. Here's the 3 things I think you need to be doing right now to protect yourself online. But here was a great article that was written by XYZ. I thought you'd find it interesting. So that's the difference between curate and commentate. Then we have celebrate, and celebrate is when we acknowledge someone in our community. It might be we give a shout out to a client, we give a shout out to a supplier, we give a shout out to a friend in business, because what better way to shine the light on other business owners than to give them a tag on your social media and talk about them, a great experience that you've had. So that's celebrate. And then the last one is commercialize, and that's when you buy my stuff. I've got this thing coming up, there's a webinar, there's a this, there's a that, come and look at my thing. So you don't want to be selling your stuff all of the time. So if you think about staggering and creating your content around those and using some of the products that we talked about tonight, Kapwing or Descript or stuff like that, then create, curate, commentate, celebrate, and commercialize become a lot easier. And using products like our community can really help for that as well. Canva for presentations, Peter, is what's going to use. Judith says, thank you for summarising the webinar at the end. So didn't miss out on too much. You are most welcome. And again, you will get the recording. So that's excellent. Anyone else want to tell me what they plan on using? No, everyone's gone shy. That's okay. Crisp. Helen's already practicing how quiet it is by just typing it into the computer. I love that. 3 dogs, right? All right, fair call. Michelle's curious about the CRM, feels overwhelming. Yeah, I get that, Michelle. I really do. Depends where you are starting out in the business, but absolutely, it's a great time if you're just starting out to get the foundations right and start with a CRM. So what I'm going to do on the screen right now, I'm going to share, there's my contact details, folks. So if you want to stay connected, Michelle, if you want to drop me an email or connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn, I'm very happy to share that 1 hour presentation I did on CRMs, and that might kind of help you get started and just feel a little bit more comfortable about like, where do I even begin? Because it can be such a big beast. It can feel a bit overwhelming. Perfect. Thank you. So AJ is saying, just another current tech tip. Don't forget to register your .au domains as well. Priority allocation ends October 4th. So unless they've extended it, it actually ended yesterday, but they may have extended that. So AUDA, the Australian Domain Authority, released the .au website. So my advice to everyone, as AJ said, grab your .au website. So can you see mine's, the digitalguide.com.au? I also own the .au as well. So the digitalguide.au, that's just the new protocol that Australia is bringing in for websites. So if you have like azuria.com.au, you want to grab the .com as well, and just make sure that you bank that. You can put a redirect onto your site. Chris and Donna.
Yeah, could you please tell us where we start in regards to developing a website?
Where you start, great question. What sort of business have you got?
Sorry, I was finding the mute button. Basically like a service business.
Service business, yeah. So if you want to build it yourself, probably one of the easiest places to start is with something like Wix, because it's a drag and drop template that you could play around with yourself. So Wix. I use a company with my clients called Lightning Sites. And again, if you want to drop me an email, I'm happy to give you some information on them. Their websites start about $1,500 and go up from there. So it really depends on your budget and what it is that you want to achieve through a website. So that's probably a really big question for a 30-second answer, but happy to, have a conversation if you want to drop me an email, and we can organize to do that. Yeah. And
Okay,
Kath,
thanks.
if you don't need a shopping cart, Canva is brilliant for websites. Okay, there you go. There's another piece of advice for you. Awesome. All right, folks, we are at time. So I want to thank you all so much again for joining. I'm not sure if Dan's back in the room. I don't think so. I was just going to shout out to the team from Azuria again for pulling this together. I think it's a fantastic initiative. And Sam saying thank you, very informative. So it's been really lovely connecting with all of you. Please reach out if there's anything I can help you with. Follow me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Drop me an email. Send me a smoke signal if there's anything that I can do to help. If there's a particular bit of tech or something that you want to get your head around. I run these top 10 tech tips every month as well, not just this one, but I look at new technology every month and release my top 10 tips for the month. So really happy for you to jump on any of those webinars. And if there's anything that I can help you with to develop your business or to help you get where you want to go, please keep me in mind. That's what I'm here for. So I'm happy to stay on. I'm going to bring my screen back up so you've got my details. But feel free to leave the room. If you've got any questions, I'll hang around. I'll be the last one out. So thank you for sharing your evening with me. Have a very pleasant long weekend. And I hope to see you around the Digiverse at somewhere in some time in some space. So thank you all for this evening. Take care.